realest.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God, my man Sess. We back at it again. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now, for tonight's segment, man, we got a little treat for y'all. This is for all the cats out there that inspire to be boxing heads, right? The cats that want the knowledge, right? That want to know about boxing, that want to know about fighters that are relevant. You know what I'm saying? In all 16 of the weight classes, not just, middleweight, heavyweight, etc. They want to know about every fucking body. Well, this motherfucker right here, he was actually my Fighter of the Year pick in 2014. A lot of people had Terrence Crawford. I had Naoya Inoue.
Naoya, alright.
This motherfucker has 2 belts in 2 different weight classes by his 8th pro fight. That's fucking amazing. And I haven't looked it up or anything. I haven't had time. But YouTube, if you get to it before me, please let us know. Is that a record? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 8 pro fights, and he's a 2-time champion in 2 different weight classes. Now, a lot of motherfuckers talk about Vasyl Lomachenko. Yeah, man, he got the belt in like his 6th pro fight. No, fuck that. Vasyl Lomachenko got an L in his first pro fight and then got his belt, in his 6th or 5th pro fight. That's not the same shit as this. This motherfucker, right now, he's 9-0 with 8 knockouts, and he is a 2-time champion in 2 weight classes. When he got the belt, he was 8-0 with 7 knockouts. Now, Vasyl Lomachenko beat a guy that a lot of people were saying was a prospect in getting his belt, and that was Gary Russell Jr. You had the haters saying, oh, Russell Jr. just a fucking prospect. Why are cats talking about him? But when Vasyl Lomachenko beat him, he's shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, he just beat an A++, triple plus. Man, Gary Russell's better than Mayweather's. They did it. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers is going ham on that shit, B. You know what I'm saying? But before that fight went down, oh, Gary Russell's just a fucking prospect. He fights a bunch of nobodies. Why do y'all talk about him? This is not the case with Inoue. Inoue knocked out Adrian Hernandez, who was a formidable champion. He was working on his 5th attempt to defend his WBC junior flyweight title before he ran into Inoue, right? And then 2 fights later, Inoue skips the flyweight division, 112, right? He went from 108 to 115. And in his first fight there, or at least his first time weighing that much, right? He takes on the most dominant motherfucker in the division for at least, 4 years? Yep. And Omar Narvaez. And Omar Narvaez, when he fought Inoue, he was working on his 12th defense of the WBO super flyweight title. This motherfucker was pure dominant. He lost 1 fight, right? And that was to Nonito Donaire, correct? But that fight wasn't for his title at super flyweight. He had moved up to bantamweight and fought Nonito Donaire, right? So when he lost to Nonito Donaire, he went back to super flyweight and retained his WBO title and kept fucking defending it. Well, Inoue goes in there against this guy who's been dominant for fucking half a decade and knocks him out in fucking 2 rounds. Something that nobody's been able to do. My man was 43-1 with 2 draws with 23 knockouts. Inoue was fucking 7-0 with 6 knockouts. And he went in there and dropped this motherfucker in 2, B. Come on! This motherfucker is a beast, and we need to talk about him. He's only 22 years old. Yep. What do you think, Sus?
Man, so far, everything I've seen from him, I like. He's a very good boxer. He has good combinations. And he's only 22 years old, and he's already accomplished these major feats, you know. Yep. So, the one thing about him, man, that I think, you know, a lot of boxing heads or just people who haven't watched him, the one thing that they're gonna notice is this motherfucker can punch, man. He hits, he's a very, very good puncher. Yep. Actually, you know, we were talking about it, you know, off camera, but the two fights that you mentioned, Hernandez and Narvaez, both of those guys looked shocked when they actually felt Naoya's punching power.
Yep.
You know, and the one thing about him, man, that I really like is he don't look like a puncher. He legitimately doesn't look like somebody that, you know, packs as much pop as he
look
does.
like a chump, man. He look like a Dragon Ball Z character, B. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Exactly, man. Exactly. He's a slim built Asian guy. You know, he doesn't have the muscles or anything like that, man. But when he touches you, it's like, oh shit, what was that?
Yep.
You know, so everything I've seen so far, man, I really like about him. My only critiques were, and I think he will get better at this, is I wanted him to be a little bit more defensive, you know, but in the two fights, you know, that you mentioned, those guys really didn't hit him a lot. Hernandez did try. He did kind of get in the inside and they did exchange shots. But that was something else. He was never hurt. Whenever Hernandez was able to hit him in the inside, Naoya didn't show any effect. He was he was so tuned in that those punches just never affected him.
Right.
You know, but I mean that's really my only critique, man. That's my only critique. And one more thing. He's got a little height on him. So you know how I am with fighters that have a little height and you know that have a decent reach. I like for that jab to be pumping, man. I want that bad boy pumping up, you know, all the time. But his power makes up for a lot of that, man. So
yeah,
I'm really excited to see, you know, who hopefully one of the major networks will, you know, put this guy out there, man, you know, and promote him more.
Yeah, they definitely need to do that. I mean, but you got to look at another guy who was dominant out of Japan, and that's Takashi Miura, who just fought Francisco Vargas. You know what I'm saying? He was beating the shit out of cats in his respective division, and he still wasn't getting the praise that he should have gotten. Now, Naoya Inoue is more extravagant in terms of what he's fucking accomplished, even though Miura's been in the game for a little while, and my man just started not too long ago. He still accomplished feats that boxers cannot fucking accomplish on a daily basis, or at least on a consistently throughout a new boxer's career. Motherfuckers can't do this. Nope. You know what I'm saying? Two-time champion in two weight classes? They can't do this. And it's not as if, you know, a lot of people, you know, they'll say shit like, well, the smaller weight classes, there's only like 2 pounds in between them and shit. And, you know, it's easy to jump from minimum weight to flyweight, from flyweight, you know, to super flyweight. I understand that. Yeah. But listen, people, he didn't just jump from fucking 108 to 110 to 111 to 150. No. He did the equivalent, right, of jumping from 160 to 168, minus 1 pound. He jumped from 108 to 115. And then took on the best guy in that weight division for about half a decade, who had never been knocked out previously. Nonito Donaire was the bigger guy, right, against Omar Narvaez, and he still couldn't knock him out. Oh, but the smaller guy, and Inoue, he knocked him out in 2. It's fucking unbelievable. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it really is. It really is.
So I got some things that I want to say about him, strengths and weaknesses. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We're gonna go to the big question. Can he beat Roman Gonzalez? All right. My strengths about Inoue, he displays a large arsenal of punch combinations from the head into the body. He's not just a headhunter. All right. You won't see him as he's coming forward. You won't see him just going to the head. My man will throw shots to the head, then he'll come to the body, then he'll go back to the head, and vice versa. He'll start at the body, then he'll come up to the head, You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Very large arsenal punch combination. He has nice footwork when he's on defense. And I put a big I bold that, you know what I'm saying? Underline it, italicize it, because it's only when he's on defense, right?
Yeah.
So when he's on D, when he's not punching, my man is bouncing, he's moving laterally, you know what I'm saying? There was a situation where Adrian Hernandez threw a hook to the body, my man jumped back like that, you know what I'm saying? Adrian just missed completely, was like this and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, great footwork when he's on defense, right? I love how he can jump in at an angle, and behind that are combination punches. Very similar to what Manny Pacquiao and Vasily Lomachenko do, but not as good as those guys, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I'll get to the weakness to why he's not as good as those in a minute, but it's not as good as those guys, but you can still, there's flashes of him in those two fights, where he's throwing a jab, and then he jumps in, and he ends up on the side of his opponent, and he's throwing combinations. Beautiful display of that. That's actually one of the biggest things that makes Manny Pacquiao and Vasily Lomachenko very unique and hard for their opponents to adapt to, is the fact that they give angles. So that's excellent right there, right? He also shoots his jab like it's a straight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My man has, we just talked about this right before I hit record. He's got sledgehammers for fucking hands. I mean, the power is unbelievable on this guy in that kind of frame. No, like my man said, no muscle. You know what I'm saying? My man is real skinny. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like this motherfucker can crack. But when he threw a jab at Adrian Hernandez, right? The first jab he landed, Adrian was like, oh shit. And then what came behind that was a straight right to the body. And that knocked Adrian Hernandez back up against the ropes. That was in the first round of that fight. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Jab is just like a fucking straight, right? And the last strength that I have for him is he creates distance well with his forearm. So, and this can go into the weakness about his inside game, right? Motherfuckers get on the inside of him. He's creating distance with his forearm. He's a strong guy, like he did with Adrian Hernandez. He's pushing him back with his forearm, and then he creates a distance, then he can get his shots off, right? Yep. Weaknesses. And it's mainly all about his inside game. The first one, he attempts to fight on the inside, but he realizes that he's getting hit way too much. And like I just said, the last strength I gave you, he tries to create space or he holds, right? Now it depends on who he's fighting, whether or not this is a good thing. Against Adrian Hernandez, it was a good thing. Against a Roman Gonzalez, not so much, because there's so much pressure there, right? Yeah. So he's got to, against Roman, he would have to keep that distance, right? Second one, he stops moving and becomes stagnant while throwing combinations, majority of the time. This goes into what I said earlier about him having nice footwork only on defense, right? Yep. He does jump in and create those angles, but the majority of the time, about 65, 75% of the time, he is flat-footed and planted when he's loading up on combinations. That's also a negative, right? When he throws one or two punches to set up a potential combination, he leaves himself wide the fuck open, B. I don't know how many times my man had Adrian Hernandez and Omar Narvaez on the back foot, and he's just coming forward, and he's leading like that, but then his hand is still out there. You know what I'm saying? On Google Plus, one of my mans, you know what I'm saying, in the groups we was in, he just posted a fucking knockout highlight of Nonito Donaire knocking out Fernando Montiel. Exactly what he did to get knocked out is what Naoya Inoue does. He'll lead with the jab or he'll lead with the hook. And Fernando Montiel led with a hook, and he left that bitch out there like that. And Donaire's just like, oh, left hook, boom, night. You know what I'm saying? I could see the same shit happening to Naoya Inoue if he does not learn to bring his fucking hands back on defense, right? Next one. He is very susceptible to the uppercut hook combination on the inside.
Yep.
And he leaves his body wide the fuck open, B. Against Adrian Hernandez. Again, he's in the inside like this. He's attempting to fight. While he's doing that, I saw Hernandez on like 5 or 6 different occasions. Uppercut, hook.
Yep.
Right? Another thing, when you're like this, people, you gotta understand, this shit is wide open in the middle for an uppercut to come right up the middle. And that's what Adrian Hernandez was doing, right? Another thing, while he's like this, he's looking to guard his face, but he's not looking to guard his body. Adrian Hernandez is doing the same shit to his body. Why, you know what I'm saying? Wide open, in my opinion, almost completely wide open on the inside. That's a exactly. That is a major problem against a guy like Roman Martinez, right? And then the last one, I'm about to wrap it up now, people. His forte is the fight on the outside, meaning that's pretty much what he needs to do. Now that could be a positive or negative depending on who he's fighting. But in regards to Roman Gonzalez, he's got to learn how to take care of himself on the inside much better than he did against Adrian Hernandez. All right. I'm still blown away by the guy. I mean, I had a lot of strengths and weaknesses for him, but you got to understand this is only his 9th pro fight going into 2016. He has 9 fights. So he does a lot of things that a young new guy to the sport cannot fucking
do. Yeah.
Exactly. And his weaknesses are pretty much on par, you know what I'm saying, with a young new guy, right?
Yep.
So, 2 questions.
All right.
The first one says, can he beat Roman Gonzalez? Everyone's been talking about him moving up, and that's another thing. Roman Gonzalez is a bigger guy. They're talking about him moving up to 118 and giving Roman Gonzalez a good matchup. At least the boxing enthusiasts are talking about that. The casuals and the average fans are like, who the fuck is this nigga? No, they automatically say he sucks. They don't know who he is. But yeah, can he beat Roman Gonzalez?
Man, not right now. Not right now. Maybe. Let me see. He's at 9 fights right now.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to at least get up to 16 or 18 fights if he's gonna have a chance against Gonzalez. Reason being is all the cons that you pretty much stated, man. I think Gonzalez would take advantage of those pretty easily.
Word.
I don't at this point in time. Naoya he doesn't jab enough to keep Roman Gonzalez on the outside and to keep him from not getting inside of him.
Right.
Another thing about Roman Gonzalez is he's a very technical fighter. So even if you're jabbing at him, he's gonna find a way around it eventually. And with Naoya's inside skill set, it's just not there, man. Wow. I could literally see Roman Gonzalez putting his head inside of Naoya's chest and ripping him to the fucking body. Yep. And as soon as he bends over, Gonzalez is gonna give him an uppercut, give him a hook, go right back down, and then just start ripping him to the body. So right now, nah, man, not right now. Like I said, I think even if he touches Gonzalez, I think Gonzalez would I won't go, because he is a good puncher, and that's something that I can't take away from him. But I do think that Roman, he's just at the point in his career to where it's going to take more than just, a good shot to kind of make him, to take him out of his game. So that's another thing, man. It's just, it's not the best fight for him right now. I really like him. I like everything I'm seeing from him, but against Gonzalez right now, nah, man, because like I said, Gonzalez is just so technical, man. He has a very, very, very good skill set, and it's gonna take a hell of a fighter to beat him, and it's gonna take somebody that's extremely ready to beat him. In his last fight, he was getting hit with some shit in his last fight. I forgot the kid's name. Shit.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
That he fought in his last fight, man. And the kid was, he was doing pretty good, but Roman stuck to his game plan. He knew what he needed to do, and if I can remember, the guy he was fighting he wasn't feather fisted
you
at
talking
all.
about Brian Valoria. I thought you were talking about Inouye's last fight.
No.
Yeah.
That's a fucking Brian Valoria. I don't know, it just slipped my mind. But Valoria wasn't no bad puncher. I mean, he could, he was getting off some heat too.
Right.
And Roman stuck to his guns. He stuck to his game plan. He adjusted.
Yeah.
And he fucking, made Valoria pay.
He broke him down, and it was mainly to the body. I mean,
Exactly.
Roman Gonzalez isn't like a Leo Santa Cruz in terms of going to the body, but this motherfucker will go to the body on the inside like no other.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And right now, man, Naoya, he's just not ready for that right now. I've seen the same problems in the Hernandez fight, particularly when Hernandez got inside.
Yep.
The one thing I noticed, the biggest thing I noticed, and this is true, I believe, with just about every puncher, they need space to punch. That's the one thing, and I don't want to put myself out there, but the one thing about me is I don't like to be pressured. I don't like to be crowded, because I need space to get off a punch.
Right.
Especially guys that can really crack.
Right.
You gotta smother that power. So that's another thing, man. I really think when you get inside of Naoya's space and you're working, just like you said, he'll put that elbow out there to get some distance, and then he'll try to let a shot off.
Right.
But just not right now, man. Not right now.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, B. Like, I'm very fucking high on Inoue. Like I said, in 2014, I picked him to be Fighter of the Year just because of those 2 feats that he accomplished that I don't believe any other fighter has done in a limited amount of fights. It's unquestionable that he should have been fucking Fighter of the Year. But I don't think he beats Roman Gonzalez right now, and it's, my man Seth pretty much touched on a lot of it. My major concern is the fact that his inside game just, he wouldn't be able to keep Roman Gonzalez off of him unless, right, this is the wild card, unless Roman Gonzalez cannot take his power. Alright?
Yeah.
So he can catch Roman coming in, and Roman will always have that thought like, fuck, I'm gonna get hit if I come in, and it knocks him off his game plan. That's the only thing that I could think of that would give him the edge. The only way I could see him winning. But like you said, Brian Valoria, he can crack. And he actually had success in that fight against Roman Gonzalez. There's a few times in that fight where I was like, damn, this might be a close fight, right? It might end up being a close fight, and then, he ended up putting him out of there eventually. But Valoria can crack.
Yeah. And
Roman Gonzalez is walking right through that shit. And these are bigger guys. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, he's coming from 108, people. Alright? He's coming from 108. If he fought Roman Gonzalez, he would have to go to 118. You know what I'm saying? He already skipped the one weight division to get to 115. And granted, he took on a guy that with an iron chin, never been knocked out, fought a guy that was bigger and still didn't get knocked out, and was dominant for half a decade, right? But still, Roman Gonzalez is a different animal when it comes to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think right now he would beat Inoue. And if Gonzalez, I know he knows people are talking about this shit because a lot of the boxing pundits, enthusiasts, experts, they're all talking about a possible Inoue versus Gonzalez matchup in the future, right? So I know he's heard this shit. If I were him, I would take the fight right now.
There you go.
And beat him. Because if you allow Inoue to get to what my man said, that 16th, 17th, 18th fight, given the shit that he's showing us right now,
oh yeah.
Oh man, this motherfucker's gonna be unstoppable. Gonzalez ain't gonna be able to fuck with him at that point. And that's why when people ask me, do you think Inoue can beat Gonzalez? I say yes, because I know Gonzalez is not gonna fight him right now.
Yeah.
If that fight happens, Inoue would be a full-fledged veteran in the sport and would have already tapped into his potential. That's why I always answer yes. But if he fought him now, nah, I got Gonzalez.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, YouTube, that's going to conclude this segment. Let us know what you think about Naoya Inoue. Very excellent fighter. Do what you do in the comment section will be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.